Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another news I missed, where I go over news I missed, because there's always 1,000 things happening in the cryptocurrency space and I go over them here with you on the weekend. As always, likes, comments, and subscriptions are appreciated as they do indeed help with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. A commissioner from the US SEC has said that true decentralized projects pose a challenge to crypto regulation, noting that decentralized finance carries within itself inherently some abilities to self-regulate. The commissioner said, "We need to take that into account as we design a regulatory system." SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce talked about cryptocurrency regulation in an interview with Yahoo Finance published last week. She was asked about whether the SEC has any trouble catching up with the developments in the crypto space and protocols which are advancing and changing very quickly on a daily basis. She said there is certainly difficulty on the part of a regulator to stay on top of developments in DeFi and crypto more generally. However, she noted people shouldn't assume that the SEC can only focus on one thing. The SEC has a lot of resources and can go after a lot of things simultaneously. Fun. It's not that I like news stories like this. I find them quite fascinating. One of the major things that we have heard for a very long time within the cryptocurrency space is that things need to be regulated, or that they will be regulated, or that the regulations are somewhere on the scope of things that are going to be coming. Over the last couple of years, every time that something has been regulatorily smacked down, if you will, something new has taken its place. And this is where we get the idea of DeFi from. DeFi, as it is, decentralized finance, and the even broader scope of it, of decentralization, is going to continue. And I think a lot of people, especially within the cryptocurrency space, but also regulatory space, have no idea what's actually coming. Every time that something gets closed, told to move away, has to close up shop in the cryptocurrency space, something brand new and more decentralized ends up taking its place. And this is why we have a lot of decentralized exchanges that keep growing more and more every single day. So the idea of DeFi is that you don't need a bank, you don't need any of the other older systems, because you can simply program a smart contract to do so. You can have thousands of people with nodes making sure around the world that these things are running properly. And that's basically all that it is. You don't need one simple person inside of a room kind of doing this anymore. So I find news stories like this interesting. I find it even more fascinating when the SEC actually, or anyone, says these things out loud, because usually they have the mask on that things are just fine and they are the regulators and therefore they are going to regulate the space. But whose door do you knock on when there is no door to knock on, when it's simply a smart contract that is decentralized? So I think stuff like that is interesting. Anyway, that's the SEC news. And let's move on. Also in rich people talking about rich things news, by laying the foundation of the Internet of Value, cryptocurrency and blockchain will generate more wealth than Web 1.1 and Web 2.2. This was said by Mark Yusko, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital. He said, "We haven't even gotten to the parabolic growth of Web 3, which is going to create untold wealth." In his career as a hedge fund manager, Yusko profited from investing in early internet technologies. He embarked into cryptocurrency in 2017. After realizing their potential to power the Internet of Value, I assume he made a lot of money and then was like, whoa, there's a lot more money to be made here. We typically daily, not a word, get news of rich people who are talking about how amazing the cryptocurrency space is, how much money there is to be made. It is still a very big belief, and even of mine. Like, I don't think this is something that's extremely far-fetched. We have already seen people have made an enormous amount of money from the cryptocurrency space, and I think we are only 1% of the way there. Not to, I try to be as unhypey as possible, but we are nowhere near where we're actually going to go for Bitcoin's price, for the other cryptocurrencies' prices, how big this is going to be. The cryptocurrency market is basically with us. Like, we are kind of the only ones. Like, it is estimated that there's maybe 100 million people maybe actually into the market. We're still missing several billion people on the planet who have no idea what's even actually taking place. So not to dig too deep into this one, but it's more like I don't think people are ready for exactly how much. It's kind of think of it this way. Imagine you had gotten into Bitcoin when it was 5 cents. And you had put in $30,000, how much money that you'd actually have right now. It's this exponential level of growth that we're going to continue to see expanding as the internet becomes everything. We are digitizing everything. We are constantly online. The idea of augmented reality and these digital lands and these digital worlds and everything, blending all kind of together. Is once again, same exact way. When we first had the internet in 94, 95, could we have envisioned that it would have become this? No, we had no idea that all this stuff was going to happen. So cryptocurrencies and blockchain in 15 years are going to give us things we didn't even think were actually possible. So get ready and let's move on. Also, in very popular news this week, and I saw it and I knew it wasn't a joke, but I was like, okay, sure, why not? For those of you who don't know, El Salvador has made Bitcoin legal tender in their country. Surprise! On top of that, they announced that they would be using their local volcanoes, not joking, for thermal energy to be able to mine Bitcoin. Thank you once again for the people who told me it was thermal energy and not magma. And then the third part is they've been making tons of money from Bitcoin, whatever they're doing. I'm not sure if the country is trading Bitcoin, but the country is actively mining Bitcoin. And they announced earlier this week that the money that they made from mining Bitcoin is going to be used, part of it, not all of it, is going to be used to make pet hospitals, to like veterinary areas, which is great and wonderful. Pets also get sick and they also need help. But I feel like that money could have gone to something else. This was major news, and it feels like a very weird publicity stunt in like a, hey, we are nature friendly, so we're going to make sure to help the squirrels and the house cats and the turtles and stuff like that, as opposed to being like fixing our bridges and infrastructure. I don't know. Maybe this makes more better, nice play-y news, but this was very popular over the course of the week. I saw it, like I said. I didn't think it was a joke, but it's kind of, oh gosh, what was the other one? I don't remember. There was some other cryptocurrency project about a year or two ago. I'm pretty sure it was Tron. I'm feeling Tron vibes. Who announced that something was going to be happening, and it was like, it was Tron. It was definitely Tron. When the people from Tron, I think, put $100 million into buying a website, and I was like, you can actually help the community and real people with that money. Anyway, so yeah, I'm all for helping animals. Completely. But the way that this made the news made me feel like this was definitely to try and get them some brownie points. Because, there are other things to be. All right. Wow. Animal hospital. Can't wait. Woo. Doggy. All right. Uh-huh. Next up, also in the news, professional footballer Alex Crognale has made history as the first player in the United Soccer League to receive part of his salary in BTC. The footballer, who currently plays as a center back for the Birmingham Legion, confirmed that on his Twitter, noting that he uses a third-party brokerage firm Bitwage and is receiving 15% of his money in Bitcoin. They also made sure to let us know that he has a background in economics. Therefore, he knows exactly what he's talking about. So saith the article. And he's a little annoyed about all the money that was being printed during, it's still happening now. But the money printing from Cockroach 19. Yeah. So this is, it feels like every news I miss that there's like a new sports star who's receiving their salary, at least part of it, in cryptocurrencies. We had American footballers before. We had was there a baseballer? I'm not sure, but it seems to happen every single weekend. So cool. I hope he makes tons of money from Bitcoin in the future, and he has red eyes. I think he needs some sleep because that clearly doesn't look like a normal medical condition. Anyway, yeah, so this was also quite popular news. I think anytime that we get someone who's famous who talks about Bitcoin or is getting Bitcoin is like, what? That's nuts, man. Cannot seeming to believe it. All right, anyway, that's that news. Is anyone surprised? I'm pretty sure his other teammates are doing the exact same thing. Let's move on. Next up, and this was one of the most popular news stories of the week. I wish I could tell you why. I think it has to do with words. I'm not really sure. Following the ban on Bitcoin mining in China, the country is no longer the leader in terms of hash rate. It is now the United States, and they wrote the United Stated, which is really funny. The consequences of the ban on anything crypto, including mining, have led to a massive flippening as the USA has surpassed China in terms of Bitcoin hash rate. Although Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency industry has been banned within China's borders for thousands of years at this point, the country was responsible for the majority of Bitcoin's hash rate for a very long time. In fact, no other nation even came close, as the cheaper electricity in China lured miners in. Data from Cambridge University's mining map exemplifies this dominance right there. It's quite, there's the yellow's China, so therefore that's the dominance. The news that we got in 2017, if I am not mistaken, was we started getting like pie graphs and chart graphs and graph graphs showing us exactly how much Bitcoin mining was happening around the world. Everyone was like, what? This is crazy. I can't believe you can use a computer to do that. And then we found out very quickly that the majority of the energy and mineability, of Bitcoin was happening within China. A lot of people didn't care for this, as one might imagine. However, for some reason, the narrative was take it away from them and give it to the US, if you catch my drift. There was no story of China has the majority, let's spread it around the world. Let's make sure that Latin America has 15%, Africa has 25%, Australia has 12%, really making it decentralized. The news was, no, China shouldn't have it, but the US should. Not realizing that, once again, there are other continents and countries, as the US is only one country of nearly 200 other ones on the planet. So, since China has banned Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and now mining within their borders, we had news over the last 2 months that a lot of people have simply put their mining equipment into boxes. It's not as simple as that. They were like on multiple airplanes, and they moved them to Texas. They moved them to Alaska. They moved them to California. I think Nevada, blah, 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 blah. You kind of get the idea. But now that the US has the majority of the hash rate, everything is seemingly cool. Not realizing that that actually slows down decentralization quite a lot, because what if the US at some point, they're not going to, but what if they did decide to ban it? Well, then the majority of the hash rate is all in one country. Anyway, so this was touted as the best news in the world. US becomes world's biggest Bitcoin miner, beating China. Yeah! United States overtakes China to become the leading Bitcoin mining hub. Can't believe it! US dominates global Bitcoin hash rate distribution after China cracked down. And I assume this is also it as well as something else. So cool. People forget quite quickly what decentralization means. It is not, decentralization does not mean United States. There are other places on the planet that should also, especially like cooler countries that are always very cold, should actually have a huge portion of them as well. But a lot of people are very excited. It just kind of, moves it from one place to another. So if not China, then it has to be America. And if not America, then where else? Anyway, hope you catch what I'm saying. So much of the market, it's kind of like, remember when last year and even this year, we kept on getting news that the Bitcoin futures, just the Bitcoin futures from the CBOE was having a major effect on Bitcoin's price. You must remember this happening. Bitcoin kept on falling around every Friday. And the news that we were getting was that the Bitcoin futures options were expiring. So, the contracts were ending. People were taking profits, whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. But every article that we read simply had to do with the CBOE. I'm pretty sure it's the one in Chicago, or it doesn't matter. One of the futures things that was happening in Chicago. And I was like, doesn't anyone think it's weird that out of an estimated 194, 195 countries on the planet, in one country, out of those 195, the United States, in one state, 50 of those, that would be controlling Bitcoin's price? Doesn't something seem a bit off when you have one city controlling the entire movement of a decentralized currency's price? Something seems a bit off, does it not? So, yeah, the rest of the world exists. Just gonna move on from that then. Next up, can't believe it. This is crazy. What are they talking about? The CEO of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, in a recent interview with CNBC, said that he sees huge opportunities in digitized crypto blockchain currencies. During the interview, Larry Fink said even though he doesn't understand this new thing called the internet and Bitcoin, so he can't predict the price, but he believes that digital currency market has huge potential. There was an interview with this guy a couple of days ago, and he basically slightly mimicked Jamie Dimon, basically saying, I don't get it. I don't understand it. People love it. There's money to be made. Earlier this week, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon came forward and said that he thinks Bitcoin is a farce, Bitcoin is a so-and-so, Bitcoin's a blah, blah, blah. But if you read deeper into the actual thing, I think he still also predicted that Bitcoin could easily hit $500,000 over the course of the next couple of years. So we can only assume he's also in the market. Another rich person talking about the cryptocurrency market. We are supposed to act surprised that these people are now giving us their blessing to enter the market, or to even, take a second to think about the market. For those of you who want more information, you can definitely find it. BlackRock, you can type in BlackRock Bitcoin 2019. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure BlackRock is from the Rockefeller family. They've been into crypto for a while. They've been buying up as much cryptocurrencies as they possibly can. And that was also one of the other news stories years ago when I was first like, oh, rich people are definitely in the market. But people forget quite easily. So whenever we get new BlackRock news, everyone's like, wait, BlackRock's in the market? Yes, my dear. They've all been in the market for a very long time. They just haven't told you. Actually, they've been telling all of us for a while. Just people for some reason forget. People forget very easily in the cryptocurrency space, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, the world's largest asset manager, who's part of the Rockefeller family, where is the mouse? There we go. Who's been in the cryptocurrency space for a number of years, has now revealed that he sees huge opportunities in cryptocurrencies when we've known that they've been into Bitcoin for a while now. Anyway, that's the rich people buying up all the Bitcoin news. And let's move on. Also in the news, and I laughed at this one because I'm pretty sure that this isn't it. Earlier this week, Binance Coin shot up in price. This article says that Binance Coin, because we were trying to figure out why it happened. It said Binance Coin surges after becoming the main jersey sponsor for SS Lazio. What in the high heaven is an SS Lazio? Okay, it's apparently a sports token, a sports fan token, and you will be able to engage with the Italian team Lazio through the token. Not sure why you can't just tweet them, why you can't send them smoke signals, but alas, here it is. I'm going to really assume that Binance Coin did not surge because of a football team? I assume they're a football team. Football team? I want to say football team. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the Binance burning their coins. And also, Binance Smart Chain has been on a roll, really a lot recently. All these new projects being built on top of it. And all the new NFTs and other things being built there as well. So, I guess the mystery has been solved, Scooby-Doo gang. It is not... If the price of Binance Coin went up by 15%... because they're the main sponsor for SS Lazio and not the burning of constant millions of coins and also, the other thousands of projects being built on top of it, well, then the cryptocurrency market needs a reset and we all have to start over because I refuse to believe that Binance Coin went up. Oh, okay, Italian football club. Yes. No. 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 Let's move on. And to finish things off, and look over here, look right here, we're green, pay attention to us. Ripple has announced that it will create a clean energy fund in cooperation with Nelnet Renewable Energy. Together, Ripple and Nelnet will create a $44 million joint investment into Nelnet Solar Energy Investment Fund. The effort will fund solar energy projects within the United States. Projects funded by the initiative could offset more than 1.5 million tons of CO2 over 35 years, according to the press release. Though it is not exactly clear how much Ripple will contribute, the firm will contribute the majority of funding. Get it together, Ripple. This is very February, March, April kind of news. Ripple keeps doing things to try and make sure that they're young, hip, cool, and fancy. And then everyone knows that they're young and hip. When they first announced that they were going to be getting into the NFT space, they made sure to announce, hey, we're using a green, super crazy, energy efficient blockchain kind of thing. And I feel like a lot of these things don't have to make the news, shouldn't even be spoken about. Usually, it's like, have you ever seen, you must have, whenever there's like a rich person who goes, oh gosh, I'm so glad the other day that I donated $12 million, they really needed it. When you donate money, do it in silence. When you're having a project that's going to try and help the earth, no one really needs to know about it. It's not that I'm critiquing Ripple, I kind of am, but it's more of a, everything that Ripple does doesn't need to make headline news. I don't need to know that the head of Ripple bought brand new chairs for the office that were made with recycled plastic and like wicker baskets. Like, it just doesn't have to always be a thing. It's cool that listen, it's great that they're trying to help out the planet. And I hope that these solar panels actually go to, maybe needy communities. Probably not going to happen because that's not how these companies work. But it would be nice if these things actually took place. So the news is Ripple put themselves into the news to make sure that people know that within the cryptocurrency space, other things are dirty, but they're trying to do their best to make sure that they look like a clean company. I wonder who is it PR, public relations? I always want to say Puerto Rico. Person is, because you got to think a little bit further. It's not just trying to appease people. Like, you got to. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right? It's not just me. Like, so much of this news ends up, once again, this is why it's also news I missed, because I bring you the most popular news stories over the course of the week on the weekend. Because a lot of it ends up being really weird fluff. Like, do you care that El Salvador is building a pet hospital? I'm pretty sure I'm sure that country has at least 20 vets, like vet hospitals in their country. We need to know through a press release that they're using money from their Bitcoin mining to be able to make a vet. Why not build a new hospital? Why not try to, hey, we're using $20 million to redo these roads, or, we found out that there are 80 staircases and escalators in areas that are predominantly elderly people. We're going to fix them. We still don't need to know that news, but so much of it is like everyone's trying this like really weird popularity contest, and it's like, you're not really doing much though. When you tell someone, it kind of negates the fact that you did it. Like, don't walk down the street and hand someone $5 and go, see, hey, that was a 5. That was a 5. You all saw that. Alrighty. Anyway, I do hope that you all enjoyed in some sort of way. I do hope that you all have had, continued to, might potentially have at some point over the course of this weekend a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. I know I've been saying this a lot, but make sure you go and do something fun for yourself. It's just that time of year. It's been a very long year for, I assume, nearly all of us. Don't forget to do something nice for yourself. I should also be saying that to myself. I never do anything nice for myself. I never buy anything for myself. I just invest everything. So it's nice some days to, just go treat yourself. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will that's a $37 million. We'll most certainly be talking to you all soon. See